Fresh off the Derby Day defeat, and the spotlight has fully turned up on Rúben Amorim, with Sir Jim Ratcliffe's Champions League demands and whispers of dressing room unrest. As ever, we're going to go through the reports. You get involved with your own opinions in that comment section and smash that like button to help support the channel. Let's start with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his Champions League demands. Is he off his head?
He's not off his head. No, he feels the squad is good enough to qualify for the Champions League. A lot of people out there actually agree with that. Even like before the players, what he signed over the summer, people thought we should qualify for the Champions League. He's now put it out there. This is what he wants, and quite rightly so, with the players what are in there. They are a good squad. We said it the other day. He believes it's a good squad. The board believe it's a good squad, and there is no reason for them to disbelieve that they should qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah, it does state in the article as well, what's been put up on screen, that he's not under any immediate threat.
And the board have stated that they have no candidates in mind to replace Rúben Amorim. But the last thing Sir Jim Ratcliffe would want, I would say exactly the same as Sir Jim Ratcliffe. There is no way you would want to replace a manager halfway through the season. Their belief is that the results will turn and that the results haven't gone United's way and they are better than the results say. Now, we're 14th in the league, and it's the club's worst start for 33 years. So the results have to improve. He doesn't want to change the manager. He believes in the manager. That's why he's got him. And I just look at it and say to myself, Rúben Amorim, he's not going to change. So he's all in on it. Because if he's turning around and saying, if we don't get any improvement, do the next 3 games really sort of qualify for Sir Jim Ratcliffe in the board to make a snap decision? I don't think so. I think once they come back from the international break after the Sunderland game, yes, we've got Liverpool and that, I think then they'll have to regroup and sort of say, right, this is what we need. This is the target. I don't think the next 3 games are the target to bring in a discussion about removing Rúben Amorim, because they feel at the moment they're better than the results give. So for me, I think the next 3 games, I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe will have his fingers crossed and hoping we get the results. And we have to get some results. We have to get some points on the board.
Yeah, going away from the article, my own opinion is, like I say, with the Chelsea game coming up, I'd take a draw right now, and it's not the end of the world coming away with just a point against Chelsea. But I'm looking at that Brentford and Sunderland game. To me, the must-win game, surely. I mean, we've got to raise our standards a bit higher, in my opinion, where we're expecting 3 points on the table against them 2 teams. I need to see improvement this season, not real progress, like I've mentioned in previous shows about hitting them top 4, top 5, top 6 places. I just want to see improvement more than not coming away from the games with smiles on our faces as fans, you know, seeing the manager with smiles on his faces, the players as well.
Listen, the spotlight will be on Amorim. The pressure is on Amorim. He knows that. I mean, the pressure's that big on him. He's previously stated that if he's not wanted, he'll walk away, and he'll walk away with no payoff. So the pressure is on him, and it is tremendous pressure. But like I said, the board believe the results will come. The question is, do you believe that? And many of you out there don't believe the results because of the way Rúben Amorim is setting this team up.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it, you know, there's a lot of talk, and we've discussed it ourselves about systems, you know, players, principles of the managers, and I kind of want to get away from that. I'm getting a little bit bored of it. And like I mentioned before, you know, the only stats that really matter is your wins, your losses, and your draws, and that needs to improve, and we need to see that in the next 3 games for me. Like I say, coming away from Chelsea with just a point is not the end of the world. Going into that Brentford and Sunderland game, they must win games, though. We need to see an improvement. I mean, just the one factor there is back-to-back league wins. I mean, he's nearly had 12 months now, and not to get that in that time frame, what's near enough coming up. I mean...
Well, you look at Rúben Amorim and his comments and that, he understands the criticism and why it's piling in. And, you know, he doesn't accept that the results are worse than what actually the team is and the squad. He believes we're doing better than the results. So for me, he's sticking in there. It's fighting talk. That's how I see it. It's fighting talk from him. He's going to do everything possible to turn this around, and quite rightly so. He's determined to stick with a system where everyone is now turning against it. And like Kieron said at the beginning, there's now criticism reportedly coming out from the dressing room about this system. And I listened to Bruno Fernandes, and he basically the other day brought the criticism out. So I think the press are right on it now, and they're not going to let go. So for me, you win 8 games out of 31 league games, then you are under serious, serious pressure.
He has mentioned in the last 12 or 18 months, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, about Champions League football, and that's where Manchester United should be playing season on season. But I'm just looking at the report, trying to read through the lines. Do you really think Sir Jim Ratcliffe has set that target, though, to finish in the Champions League places this season? Because I'm unsure of that. I'm taking that with a pinch of salt, because many fans that I speak to personally, and you do here on a match day or just out in the wider world as friends, I've not heard anyone really say that we should be finishing the Champions League places this season. When you look at the other teams around us and who are fighting for them places this season, are we a strong enough squad to compete with that? I mean, I don't believe with the rhetoric out there that we're an average squad. I think we're better than that. I do think this system does actually show flaws more than benefits with certain individuals. But I just don't think it's Champions League places. I mean, I'm looking at the Europa League places, me personally. I don't know about you out there.
You know, we as fans, it's one step at a time. But he has a target, and he will say to himself, and I think many fans will as well, the amount of money what's been spent on this squad and wasted, because we've got rid of some deadwood and all that, and we've wasted loads of money, that these players should be qualifying. Rúben Amorim was brought in, and he knows the target. Pressure's on. It's on them all. More so Sir Jim Ratcliffe, because like I say, the last thing he wants to do is replace another manager mid-season, because he knows the crisis will go on, and then spending more money to change players for a new manager, what comes in for a new system. So for me, yes, Champions League football is the target, and if they don't get it, then I think Rúben Amorim's position will seriously be questioned, and he's got one more year on his contract after this season. So the pressure is on, and Champions League football is there. My belief, and I've always said this, there will be carnage and chaos this season, and I've always said that I believe, even with the new signings in the summer, that we will finish 8th, because things will go pear-shaped. This is a long, drawn-out affair to turn this club around, and there's no quick fix, even though Sir Jim Ratcliffe believes there is.
Yeah, there'd be a lot more questions and answers straight away as well, with Rúben Amorim being Ineos's man. You know, sacked Erik ten Hag early, brought Rúben Amorim in, and they've shown a lot of faith in him. So they must actually genuinely believe in him, or it might come back to the flip side of the coin, that maybe Dan Ashworth was right, but they ended up sacking him. Going on to other reports as well, and there's player discontent out there. You know, the huge headlines from like the likes of the Daily Mail, other news sources out there. What's your take on that?
Well, I think fans are absolutely sick to death of any reports what come out about player unrest and news coming out. We all thought that we'd got rid of it in the summer, isolated certain players who we all believed were part of that poison, as we say. But I'm sick of it every time. I mean, these footballers, right? Every time there's a new manager, you know, you look at Moyes, Mourinho, you look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We don't like the system. We think it should change. There's always complaints. Every system has been different. Every time, every way they play under each manager, players seem to come out about these reports. I'm up to there with it, and I thought we'd done with it. So for me, it's just another players coming out. Now, is it the press? Is the little things coming out? But like I said before, when a player like Bruno Fernandes questions, we can't do the job what we're being asked to do in midfield. Internally, there is criticism, but they should have dealt with that in the summer. And there is enough leaders in there now, what have been appointed. They should have been able to approach the manager. There's no need for it to come out, but it just seems to be every time something goes wrong with United, players come out and complain about the system. Right here and now, I think to myself, well, they've had 6 systems to play with, and every system, players come out criticising it. That baffles me and really, really annoys me.
Just want to see sometimes the manager adapt to the situation that's currently going on the pitch, just to show that he has got that plan B or C just to help the team get through phases of the game and stay on the front foot.
But when we open up, a lot of fans out there point out it's when he starts making the changes. We seem to be so wide open, and the substitutions are a little bit baffling for people to look at this system and say, well, that doesn't work right. And right on cue, Harry Maguire comes on centre half, and next thing you know, he's flying forward and all that. In fans' eyes, it looks like he's panicking when he makes certain changes. Is it the players? Are they not good enough? I'm not too sure. I don't think we've got the right amount of players in yet for this system. And that's why I say I think we'll finish 8th, no better than 8th, for the reasons there, the carnage and chaos, player unrest and all that. But we shouldn't have player unrest. All we've heard all summer is it's been cleared out in the back room. These players know what they can and can't do and what they can say and what they can't. So for me, it's just looking a little bit as though the media are right at it. And we're in trouble here. We're in big trouble because of the pressure on and off the field.
Players have had all summer, just like the manager and everyone else inside the club, to try and rectify any mistakes that were made last season, and getting players in, getting players out, and also players getting a feel of what's to come this season. So if they're not happy now, they should have surely have seen that in the summertime. So that was your time to make exits and get out of the club.
Well, that's what the fans are on about now. You know, all the moaning and all that should have been dealt with. But you just look at this squad, and I look at it, and it's good enough. It is good enough. There's no two ways about it. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he's going to have none of it. He will clamp down over the next month or two on these players, on Rúben Amorim and everyone else, all the employees in there. He's desperate to get in there. I know there's some financial results due soon, and we'll lay bare the financial situation at United, and that's why he's determined. He's not spent that money this summer on goals on them 3 players and not get a return. He needs that return, and he needs that Champions League. And I don't think, to be honest with you, Europa League will satisfy him. So that puts pressure on Rúben Amorim. But Rúben Amorim knows the pressure, and that's why he said he's prepared to walk without a payoff. Now, I look at Rúben Amorim and say, fair play to you. You're here for Manchester United. You're here to do your best. And he says, I'll do everything I can. So that's fair play to him. I'm here to do a job. I'm not here for the money, unlike a lot of players what have come through here over the last 10 years.
Yeah, I do understand what you say from some of them points of view, but it just still doesn't sit right with me, a manager that flirts with the idea of walking away or being resigned to being sacked because the results aren't good enough. I can clearly see in a lot of yous out there, these results are hurting Rúben Amorim. Looks like a top man as well, a nice bloke, honest as well, but that's not winning in football matches, and it's the club first for me. And I always said in the summertime, one of the biggest things he's got to sort out during that summer and the start of the Premier League season, he's changing the mindset, not just the starting 11, but the whole squad, the whole inside of the club, from a losing mentality last season into a winning one. And it doesn't seem, as of yet, that that's actually changed for me.
I think the flaw in Sir Jim Ratcliffe signing Rúben Amorim is the naivety, okay, in how he approaches all these press conferences and talks off the cuff and everything else like that. And that has brought more criticism and the pressure on him. I think he's very naive, to be honest with you. And he has to pull this team and this club round. And if he doesn't, it will just show that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has made another mistake and didn't really understand Rúben Amorim, young manager and all that, and he's put his faith in him. But really, it's naivety as I see it, and it is annoying. And United fans, me and Kieron, Webby as well, we don't want to hear Rúben Amorim going on because he keeps putting his foot in it, and it's getting bigger and bigger, the noise he's creating. So for me, young manager, naive. We'll soon find out this season if it was the right choice or not.
Yeah, for me, I think with his press conferences, you know, some of the stuff that he does come out with in terms of his actual confidence and his honesty, I do believe you can do that. But when you've got credit in the bank in what you've already done, we've not seen any consistency in terms of positivity and results and like the play, style of play, etc. And that's when you can start being like what Rúben Amorim is. I just don't think he's got that credit in the bank. And maybe there is some players out there in the dressing room who are just looking at it and thinking, we don't know what we're getting from week to week, day to day, in terms of his actual character, the way his response is with some of the players. But, you know, who knows? I'm sure there's a lot of facts out there that aren't actually being revealed even by the club or many reporters out there as of yet. So for me right now, all you can do as a supporter, in my eyes anyway, you might disagree, is just support the manager, support the team, and get behind the club on a match day. And let's just hope that things do turn round. But it's a huge game against Chelsea, but even bigger, in my opinion, against Brentford and Sunderland for Rúben Amorim. But let's get behind him. Get your thoughts and opinions in that comments section. Smash that like on today's video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. We just thought we'd go through the latest Manchester United news, just to have a conversation between us and yous out there to get stuck into in that comments section. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.